Hello my friends, it's Lisa and welcome to the first reading vlog of the new year of 2022. I'm so excited about it. I'm so excited to share more of my vlogs and my reading journey this year, and I hope 2022 is a bit of a better year for all of us. 2021 was a rough one. So I'm hoping that this year is just even, I'm not asking for much, just slightly better than last year for everyone. But I'm excited to get into new vlogs for the new year, get into the first vlog of the year. So for this vlog, I wanted to vlog the first full week of the year, and it also was the Treat Yourself Readathon, which all of that I talk about a little bit more later on in the vlog, but I just really wanted to vlog my experience reading my first read of the year, especially because the book that I chose to read first in 2022 is one of my most anticipated releases for 2021, so I was pretty excited to get into it. But as this is a vlog for the Treat Yourself Readathon, I really wanted this vlog to be focused on self-care and treating yourself. I do a lot of things throughout this vlog that are things that I just find very cozy and very comforting. Obviously, reading is one of my favorite hobbies, so that naturally is one, but there's a few other things that I do throughout this vlog that I really just wanted to do for self-care. I really wanted to focus on that the first week of the year. And on the topic of self-care and treating yourself, I want to talk about one of my favorite brands who's actually the sponsor of today's video, which is Ana Luisa. So Ana Luisa is a brand that I have worked with many times before, and I absolutely love them and I love what they stand for. They keep their products at a very reasonable price but have these very high quality products. They're not doing a lot of markups like other brands do, and they're also completely carbon neutral, which is something that I think is great. I think it's so great to see a brand that I support and that you can support as well putting so much thought into their effect on the environment and really being conscious of that. So Ana Luisa did send me a few pieces to share with you all. So the first piece I have is this ring. This is the Selene Ring, and it's really, really stunning. I love that it has a bit of sparkle. I do have a couple of my other Ana Luisa rings on right now, and they're a little bit more plain, a little bit more simple. They don't really have that sparkly glitter moment, so I thought that this would be fun, a little bit different for me, and also would add a little bit more something if I wanted to wear a ring that had a little bit more to it. And then I'm wearing two necklaces. I'm wearing the key necklace, which ironically enough is the padlock necklace, not the key. So yeah, I have this padlock necklace, which I really love. I love how kind of small and dainty it is. And then I also have this key necklace that is also very small, very dainty. I love this necklace so much. This might be one of my favorite things that I've gotten from Ana Luisa over the past few months. I just absolutely love it. This is the Charlie necklace. So on the topic of self-care and treating yourself, Ana Luisa is currently running a sale, so now would be the perfect time to pick up some pieces for yourself to treat yourself and have that little moment of self-care, because I feel like when I put on my Ana Luisa jewelry, it's so nice and makes me feel so beautiful. So that in itself is an act of self-care, but you can kind of treat yourself to Ana Luisa with sales up to 40% off currently. So yeah, definitely highly recommend checking out Ana Luisa. You guys know I've talked about them many times. I really stand behind their brand and their pieces, and I absolutely love them. So yes, thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, I think with that said, we can just get into the reading vlog. We can get into me talking about my TBR for the week and my anticipated release that I was very excited to read. But yes, with the topic of treating yourself and self-care, I wanted this vlog to just be a very cozy, chill vlog for me and for you to watch. Hopefully watching this vlog can be a bit of self-care as well. I don't know, it could be. But yeah, I really just wanted to take the time to take care of myself this week and read and just do a lot of other things that make me happy. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Let's just get into it. So it is the first full week of the new year, and I wanted to vlog my first read of the year as well as for the Treat Yourself Readathon, which has been happening from the 1st until the 8th, I believe. That is hosted by Casey and Mafalda, and I'll have all of their information linked below. But yeah, I'm like kind of participating, but also kind of not. I am participating, I'm just taking it very chill, just because I'm definitely going to take the Treat Yourself Readathon name to heart and just kind of have like a self-care week and very chill, just because I'm already not mentally doing my best. I feel a bit just like blah. I typically after Christmas during the rest of the winter, I'm not always feeling my best. So I definitely want to start off this year just like having a self-care moment, taking care of myself and being kind to myself. So this week is going to be full of different things that I love that are going to be like self-care, self-love, treat yourself related. It's just the perfect time for this readathon. But for the readathon, and something that I do love to do for self-care is read. obviously, hello, welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be reading A Song of Storms and Silence. This is my first book of the year. I started it on the 1st, which was when the readathon started. I'm on chapter 4, page 41, so not super far, but hoping to read some more of this throughout the week. This is the sequel to A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, and I'm already like right back in and invested. I read a recap of the first book, which I'll link below because it's really helpful, but I'm ready to jump back in. I'm already back to being obsessed with these characters. Malik is literally the most precious cinnamon bun character I've ever read about, so excited to be back with him. So yeah, this vlog is going to be a bit of self-care, including things that I love and just kind of having that self-care treat yourself moment, because we're off to a little bit of a rocky start mentally at the beginning of the year, which what a great start to the vlogs for this year. Like, hello, welcome to the vlog. I'm miserable. I'm just kidding. I'm not miserable. I'm fine. I'm just not feeling my best. So definitely gonna have a self-care moment this week. Hopefully that will set my mental health up to be a bit better. Maybe throughout the rest of the month. We'll see. But yeah, hello. Welcome to a new vlog. Welcome to the first vlog of the year. And yes, I still have my Christmas tree up, and it'll be in the back of my vlogs until I take it down. Because that's just, it brings me joy. So that's what we're doing.
I found somebody, I say you don't cross my mind. And she doesn't know that your favorite place is still mine. Now I take the long way home, avoid what I can't let go. I don't always think about you, but sometimes I do, 'cause sometimes I try.
Methinks I'm just gonna live in my big marshmallow sweatshirt. It's a treat yourself readathon. It's self-care. It's what we gotta do. But hello, I just wanted to give a quick little reading update. I have read a little bit more of A Song of Storms and Silence. I'm now on chapter 16, which is page 198. And I don't know how I'm feeling about it, to be honest. I feel like I liked the very beginning because it just kind of jumps right back into what's going on, and it doesn't like take a lot of build up to get right back into the story. But I'm definitely not as like intrigued or as invested as I was with the first book in the series, and something feels a little bit off. I don't know if it's the characters or what's going on, because I love Malik and Karina, but something about them just doesn't seem fully like correct with this book, or I guess not correct, just different. And it's not in a way that they've changed because of the events after the first book, because obviously that has happened, but something about them just feels different. But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see how it goes. I haven't seen the best reviews of this. I haven't seen many, but from people I am friends with on Goodreads, there's only been like 2 and 3 star ratings for this. So I'm a little nervous as to how I'm gonna feel about this, because this was definitely a 5-star prediction for me. I thought I was gonna like this even more than the first one, but I don't feel like that's gonna be where it goes for me, so I'm a little upset, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I also did get some exciting Gilded related things the week in between like my last Vlogmas vlog and this vlog, because naturally that's when the mail would come. But I do have a couple of things to show. So I did get the Gilded Fairy Loot Special Edition. Shout out to Darian. She gave it to me for my birthday, and then it arrived like the day after Christmas. So I will show me like opening that now. She has arrived. Oh, that is not pleasant. It's so shiny. It's so pretty. Look at that. Hello? That's stunning. Look at that. Absolutely. And I think, yes, it's a ribbon bookmark as well. It's so stunning. Thank you, Darian, for the birthday gift that came the day after Christmas. Perfect arrival time, honestly. Where am I gonna put it on my bookshelf? the Marissa Meyer shelf's pretty full at this point. And then I also got my pre-order stuff in the mail, which was very exciting. And I also filmed my reaction to that, so I will insert that as well. Well, this was convenient. I was already in the middle of filming my January bullet journal setup, but I got a package in the mail. It has my address on both sides, but here it is. And I think this is the Gilded pre-order gifts. I think. It says it's from Macmillan, so that's, I think, where it would be coming from. And I don't know what else it could be. Yes, that's what it is. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Alright, so first, oh my god, it's so tiny and precious. Oh my god, hold on. Okay, so we have a metal bookmark, and I have a squeaky chair. I don't know if you can see it. I'm doing the beauty guru thing, but it just says Gilded on the front, and then there's a quote on the back. It says, "There are two sides to every tale." I love it. It's so tiny and so precious. Wow, I'm just so happy it made it. I feel like they were having some issues with this before, so it was taking a little while, but I'm just glad they're here. And then the next thing is this poster, and when I'm filming this, I have just finished rereading Cress. Actually, I haven't finished yet. I still have like 40 pages left, so I'm like in my Lunar Chronicles feels, but it's a poster. Let's see, can you see? And it has all of Marissa Meyer's like main female characters in her books. So we have Cinder, Winter, Cress, and Scarlet there. We have Nova. We have Cerilda, who is from Gilded. Then we have Kath, and we have Prudence. And Kath is from Heartless, Prudence is from Instant Karma. And it's just, I'm sorry if there's a glare. It's so, so cute. I can't look at the ladies on the top. I'll just start crying. Let's just cover them because they just make me emotional. Wow. Why am I actually gonna cry? Let's not do that. This is just so precious. It's so cute. I'm gonna have to put it like in a frame and put it up somewhere because it's just precious. And I also love the bookmark. The bookmark's so cute. It's so small. I didn't expect it to be this tiny, but it's really precious how small it is. Okay. I thought I would share because I wanted to share my reactions to this. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, those were very exciting deliveries. I still have to figure out exactly how I want my Marissa Meyer shelf because I feel like the Gilded special edition has to be on display, but I can't quite figure out the correct Jenga for the books to make it so it's on display other than just like being in front of some of the books. So definitely gonna have to play around with that shelf and figure that out, but very happy with the special edition. Again, thank you, Darian, for giving me that for my birthday. I am so honored, so blessed, so moved, so grateful. And the pre-order stuff is also just amazing, and I definitely want to get a frame for the poster. I kind of want to do like more with stuff on my walls. I feel like I had a bunch of stuff up and then everything fell down because of the sticky tack stuff that I used. For some reason, it pulled paint off of the wall when one of the posters fell down, but they wouldn't stay up on the wall. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. So I have to figure out how I'm going to get things onto my wall, but I definitely want to add more stuff. I have a bunch of like really cool fan art from like books and of just like people and stuff. So I want to put that up, but I gotta figure out how to do that. So I've also been like in my Lunar Chronicles feels ever since I reread Cress at the end of 2021, and so now I just want to buy like all the Lunar Chronicles fan art that I can find. There is some stunning fan art out there, so perhaps we will be doing that this year, is actually like decorating my walls again, trying again, having a redo, and finding a better way to have things up. But I definitely want to get some more fan art and or frames for the stuff I already have. So yeah, maybe that's a mission for this year, is getting my room and my space to be more what I want it to look like. But I do have to clean first before I feel like I can decorate, and I definitely need to clean my room. I actually have a whole spread in my bullet journal for this month to organize like a clean out of everything. So I need to, my desk is so cluttered, so we need to do that. I need to go through my desk, like all the drawers and stuff, and just like my bedside table and my clothes and just like a bunch of stuff I need to go through. So maybe I'll do that, and then I can start working on like actually decorating again, trying that whole thing again. And then I can buy all the fan art and fun things that I want to put up on my walls. So Redbubble, if you're listening, if you want to sponsor this queen who's trying to get her room to look cute, she's ready. She's ready for it. to laugh. I have been so confused all week as to why I've been feeling the way that I've been feeling all week. So at the beginning of the vlog, I was talking about how I just feel a bit down, a bit sad. I've been having headaches kind of all week as well, and have just felt very like low energy and just blah. I've been napping and like just super tired the past few days. I've taken like multiple naps every day for the past like 3 days, and I'm like, why do I feel this way? I'm so confused. What's going on? And it took 3 days for me to make the connection that my time of the month is going to be starting and the way I've been feeling. For some reason, it took me this long, and I didn't even make the conclusion myself. My mom asked me, is your time of the month coming up? Like, are you about to have your period? And I was like, oh, yes, that's what it is. I don't know if this is TMI, but like, people have periods. I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, I feel like, you know, this week being a self-care, treat yourself, readathon vibe is perfect timing. I just didn't realize it until right now how perfect the timing was. But it just explains why I've had like multiple breakdowns this week and why I've like cried myself to sleep the past like 2 nights. It's all coming together. But yeah, I connected the dots there with my mom's help. And so I feel better now that I kind of know why I've been feeling this way. For some reason, it completely left my mind, and I've just been like, why do I feel so crappy? And now it all makes sense. So I think I'm going to take some Tylenol because I do have a little bit of a headache, and I want to do some reading. I was reading a bit earlier of A Psalms and Storms and Silence, and I just stumbled over that title, A Psalm of Storms and Silence. There we go. I did read a little bit of this earlier, but like I've been saying, I've been very, very sleepy, and I really struggled to get through the last like 5 pages of like the last pages that I read because I kept falling asleep. So I think I read like 50 pages earlier, and I now just want to read until I'm at least halfway. I think if I read the next 2 chapters, I'm on chapter 21. If I get to chapter 23, I think I'm going to be at the halfway mark or like a little bit past it. So I at least want to get to that point tonight. That's only like another 20 to 30 pages. So I think I can do it. So I'm going to try to read that. But like I said, I do have a headache. So I don't know how much I'm going to read or how long I'm going to want to read. I'm going to hope that the Tylenol really helps me out here. But I don't want to force it if I'm not feeling my best. And I don't want to strain my eyes and all that. So that is my plan. Update on how I'm feeling. I'm still not sure how I feel. I don't know. I feel like characters are doing things that are just so, I don't know. They don't seem right. But I don't really know. I just feel like something is off. But I'm hoping to finish this over the next couple of days because I am kind of feeling like I'm ready to move on, which I feel like is not always the best feeling when you're in the middle of a book that you thought you'd be enjoying. You want to just move on to the next thing. So I don't know. That's all I have to say. Oh, I also have been meaning to look at the bingo board for the readathon. I like looked at it before the readathon started, and I haven't looked at it really since, so I want to take a look and see what I can kind of check off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a bingo with just reading one book, so we'll see. Buy a book and read it. I mean, I bought this in like November. I feel like that could maybe count. Read a book by a favorite author. I mean, I liked the first book. I don't know if I could consider Roseanne A. Brown a favorite author yet. Read a pre-order. I didn't pre-order this, but it was a pre-order in my mind. That doesn't count. Anyway, read a book set in a world you would love to live in. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not really sure if I would want to live in that world. Read a 5-star prediction. This was a 5-star prediction. Take a picture of your TBR and post online. I did post a picture of this book on the first day of the year, and this was the only thing on my TBR, so did that. Read one of the host's favorite books. That's not either one of their favorite books. Reread a childhood favorite. No. Join reading sprints. I did that. Read a book with a trope you love. I mean, the first one had enemies to lovers, so I don't know if this would still count because they've kind of gone to enemies to lovers back to enemies. And I imagine they're going to go back to lovers. I don't know, just a prediction, so perhaps. Which I don't even know, do I really like enemies to lovers that much? I like it, but it's not my favorite. But I like it, so I think it counts. Create a bullet journal spread. I didn't create really a bullet journal spread, but I created a Notion page for the readathon. It's It literally has the bingo board and then my TBR, and it's literally this book. And that's it. It's not very exciting. I don't know if that would count. Read a book you've been eyeing for a while. This was one that it released in November, and then I bought it in December, and now I'm finally reading it. What's happening to my voice? But I also was obviously looking forward to it as well, so I feel like that could count. Read the finale in a series. Yes. Read a book with a pretty cover. Definitely pretty cover. I love the covers of these books. I think they're so pretty, and also like the naked like spine, also stunning. Drink water while you read. There she is, my emotional support water bottle. I always have that with me. I have definitely done that. And read a book that will make you feel a lot. Well, at the start of the readathon, I would have said yes. We're gonna have to see how the second half plays out if it makes me feel a lot more, because right now I'm not really feeling much of anything, which is very sad. So yeah, that's an update on the Treat Yourself bingo board. I don't know if I got a bingo yet. Probably not. Once I finish this book, we'll have to actually, I'll go through and check things off and see. So that's the bingo board. It's a very cute graphic. So hopefully I can actually use it to check things off because it's so cute. Anyways, I'm gonna go take my Tylenol and do some reading and hope that this book picks up a little bit more and I start feeling more positively about it. Fingers crossed. Okay, jokes, I'm back, but I am gonna start reading. I did take my Tylenol. I also opened a cute Christmas card from my friend Franny, so thank you, Franny. This is the cutest card. Look at this. This is absolutely stunning. It's so pretty. Anyway, I just wanted to quickly pop back on because if you happen to miss it, me and my friends Darian and Casey are hosting a Shadowhunters read-along starting in January. So this month, we're starting with City of Bones, and perfect timing on, I don't know if it's Riveted Lit or Riveted by Simon Teen or whatever the website is, but they have free reads each month, and January they have City of Bones as a free read. So, I know I'm yelling about this on various social media platforms, but I want everyone to know that you can read City of Bones for free all of January, which is when we are reading City of Bones for our read-along. So, it's perfect timing. You really have no excuse not to read along and join with us unless you don't want to, then I guess whatever, do whatever you want. But, if you were thinking about it, there you go. It's easy to find. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to wait for a hold coming on your library. If your library doesn't have it, it's there. I'll have it linked in the description. And I'm sorry I'm yelling about it everywhere, but I just need everyone to know because it's a free read. And it's a great thing to know about anyway, because I think they have books for free, multiple books for free each month, and they change them up. So it's just something that will be nice for you guys to know about. But City of Bones is there, so you're welcome. Please read it and join us for the live show on my channel. Probably at the beginning of February, talking about City of Bones. It's gonna be a fun time. Okay, back to reading. Alright, a quick little update on A Psalm of Storms and Silence. I did manage to get to the halfway point last night and actually surpass it. So I'm now on page 361, which is chapter 28, and I think I only have 180-ish pages left of the book, so I think I'm going to try and finish it today. I know that Casey and Mafalda are doing sprints in 2 hours at 4:30, so I think I'm going to try and watch that and do some reading then. And then I've also been doing a lot of reading at night the past few days just because I have just been wanting to be in bed as much as possible because my body hurts. It's just because of, that discovery that I made last night that it's my time of the month. I'm going to stop talking about it now. We don't need to keep bringing it up in this vlog, but yeah, my body hurts. So I'm definitely going to want to get comfy in bed later and do some more reading and hopefully finish it. I feel like that's a little ambitious for me, 180 pages when I haven't read anything yet today, but with the sprints that will hopefully help. And yeah, I think I think I will be able to do it, or at least get close to finishing, because I definitely want to get this done. I feel like where I'm at now, things are actually starting to pick up again. I definitely feel like there was a big part of the kind of middle area of this book where it was really dragging. We were finding out certain things and like discovering certain things along with the characters and everything, but it just felt like there were long periods in between those discoveries and just things kind of dragging, or characters like inner monologue being repeated a bunch of times. So I'm glad that we've kind of gotten to a point where I feel like it's going to start picking up again, at least I hope. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and finish this today, and then we still have a few days left of the readathon. It is the 6th now, so we'll see if I can read anything else in time for the readathon, but not sure. I don't know what I'm going to pick up next, to be honest, in general. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But even if this is the only thing I read for the readathon, I'll be happy. I wanted to keep it nice and chill, have a self-care week, as we know. So this was fine for this to be the only thing I've read, but I do want to try and finish it today. Fingers crossed I can do that. That'd be great. But that would require me to actually read. So, you know, sometimes I struggle with that. Alright, howdy. I wanted to come on and give it a little update because I have finished reading A Psalm of Storms and Silence, and so I finally completed a book for not only the readathon, but also my first book of 2022, which is very exciting. But I ended up giving this 3.5 stars, which is definitely higher than what I was thinking it was going to be. So like, I'm happy that I didn't give it a lower rating, but I am upset because I thought this was going to be 5 stars. I feel like the last like 150 to 200 pages of the book really like popped off. Like it felt like how I felt reading the first book. Like I felt super invested. I was super stressed. I was really invested in the characters and what they were experiencing. Also, sorry if you can hear any noises outside. It is snowing, so there's I think a snowplow going up and down our street. I just feel like the way everything concluded was really good and it made me quite emotional. I also am the type of person that like the final books in series or like series finales of shows, the final movie in like a movie series or anything, like I tend to get really emotional at endings, whether I like them or not. I just get very emotional at things coming to an end. So I'm not surprised that I got emotional, and I do like really like the characters in this world. So seeing what they went through and seeing where everything ended up for them was just an emotional time. So I did get a little teary-eyed last night a few times reading this, but I feel like the last like 200 or so pages of this book can't make up for the fact that there were like over 300 pages otherwise that I wasn't as into. And I just feel like Kayla from Books and Lala actually said the same thing, and I agree that it felt like Roseanne A. Brown had this story and there wasn't quite enough to make it into 2 books, so there was a lot of like filler and things just dragging, and there was a lot of repetition as well. Like I feel like a lot of the characters' inner monologue, especially Malik's, was just really repetitive, and them being like, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I side with this person? Is this what I should do? I don't know if we should do that. There was just so much back and forth like that, and it was the same dilemmas over and over and over and over and over again, and it just kind of felt like there wasn't quite enough to make a whole second book, but she kind of had to. I don't know. I feel like this could have been so much shorter than what it was. I don't feel like we needed, like, I feel like we easily could have lost like at least 100 pages of this book and not have missed anything. So yeah, obviously things were happening and characters were discovering things in those like 200 to 300 pages of where it was feeling like it was dragging and things like that, but it just didn't need to be stretched out, I think, for that many pages. So I'm upset that this wasn't a 5-star. I definitely found that I was getting like frustrated or just didn't like really feel much of anything when reading a majority of this book, which is such a bummer considering I loved the first one so much. So I'm really glad that the last 200 pages really stepped up and got me back invested and made me feel the way I felt reading the first one, but I can't ignore how the rest of the book made me feel. So yeah, I went with 3.5 stars for this one. I'm kind of upset that it wasn't a 5-star, but it's okay. But I did finish this, and I've also started A Woman in Salt, which I don't have the book near me. Let me go and get it. I have the book and the dust jacket, because I'm one of those people that takes the dust jacket off to read hardcovers. But yeah, I did start this last night. I didn't get very far. I'm on page 11, so that's it. And I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it in time to count it for the readathon. Like, I could because it is so short, but I don't feel like I'm going to want to rush it. I've heard that there's like a lot of different timelines in this book and it can get confusing to kind of follow. So I feel like if I try to read it really fast, I'm definitely going to get confused. So I'm just going to take my time reading this, but this is what I picked up next. And even though I don't know if I'm going to be able to count it for the readathon, I'm reading it for Casey and Mafalda's book club. So it's still very on theme for this vlog. But yeah, those are my reading updates. I finally finished my first book of 2022, which is exciting. Unfortunately, it was not the 5-star I thought it was going to be, but it's now done. And like I said, it's currently snowing out, so it's very cozy. And I think we actually got the new Mario Party game, so I think me and my mom are going to play that later, and that'll be fun. And it's just going to be a cozy day, I think. So we'll probably do some reading. Might watch some Gilmore Girls, because I watched a few episodes earlier this week, so I'm kind of back in my Gilmore Girls mood for now. It's a very short-lived mood, but it happens every once in a while where I'm like, okay, it's time to watch some more Gilmore Girls. So I'm back in that mood for a bit. Probably will watch some of that later. But yeah, that's my update for now. Just wanted to give some final reading updates, and we'll continue to vlog this very cozy day. Cozy hoodie. Who's surprised? Howdy, partners. It is now Saturday evening. I have a few updates to share with you. First of all, I finished watching season 3 of Gilmore Girls last night, so that was fun. Definitely an emotional one. Not necessarily like sad emotional, just like emotional because of what happens with Rory in that episode. I guess it would be sad depending on who you ask, but I personally, like, I am not that invested in Rory's like relationships that she's had so far in the show. I don't know. I know it's like a big thing on like whether you're like Team Dean or Team Jess or Team the other guy that I haven't met yet, which clearly means that he can't be great if I can't remember his name. What is his name? I don't remember. The third one, you know. What is his name? I have to look it up now. I'm gonna drive myself nuts if I don't know. In my defense, I haven't met him in the show yet. So Logan. I knew it started with an L, but I kept thinking Luke, and I was like, no. Anyway, I find that I'm not that invested in her relationship, so like that part of the season 3 finale, I knew it was coming, so I just, whatever. But the other parts of the episode I found to be emotional. But anyways, I finished season 3. We're on to season 4. I'm a little nervous because I feel like I've heard not so great things about some of the later seasons and like the way Rory is in some of the later seasons. I'm just like, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this show going into these later seasons, but it'll probably be another year before I finish it anyway, so we got time. Before a reading update, I've started 2 new books. I think I've talked about A Woman in Salt already. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that I was starting this, or I've started it. I am now on chapter 5, which is page 84, so I'm almost halfway through the book because this is a pretty short book. I think it's like just over 200 pages, so I'm definitely almost halfway through, and I am liking it so far. I did see a lot of reviews that it could get confusing because there were a lot of characters and a lot of different timelines and a lot of timelines where you're even just following one specific character. So what I've been doing is I've been writing like post-it notes and putting them at the ends of the chapters, just kind of saying like, okay, whose perspective was that in, what year was it, and where it took place, and then just like a little summary of what happened in the chapter, just so that if I do get confused in future chapters, I could just quickly reference those post-it notes instead of having to reread anything, just in case I get confused. I haven't really gotten confused quite yet, but I also am not even halfway, so I feel like there's going to be a lot more perspectives and a lot more story that I'm going to get, and I might get more confused. So we'll see, but I figured I would just do that to help me kind of understand what's going on and when it's all happening. I also don't think I've really talked about what this is about. We're following a lot of different timelines. Like I said, we're following mainly this one family through multiple generations, and we're following Jeanette, who is like the youngest person, I think, in this family, and she is recovering from addiction. She also witnesses her neighbor get detained by ICE, but she has a young daughter who then returns to her house, and her mom obviously is not there. So Jeanette goes and takes the young daughter in to kind of watch her while she figures out what to do, because her mom obviously is not coming back. And then we've also gotten a chapter from the mother who was detained by ICE. So she's not related at all to this family. There's actually a family tree. I feel like this is a hard book for me to describe, but there is a family tree at the beginning here. So we have the mom who was detained by ICE and her daughter, and then this is Jeanette, and we're mainly following kind of this family, but we have gotten the mom who was detained by ICE, her perspective. And then we've also gotten the perspective of like the very first person that's listed in Jeanette's family tree, and that was taking place in like 1866, I think. So yeah, we're kind of jumping all over the place, and there's kind of a lot going on because we're following kind of two families and how they connect, and there's a lot of like different timelines and things we're jumping back and forth between. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I do enjoy like having so many stories kind of connecting, and I love seeing stories that follow families through multiple generations. And I don't know, I do like the concept, so we will see when I keep going. It is very short though, so I probably will be able to finish this relatively quickly, and hopefully I don't get too confused. So far I'm not that confused, but I don't know if the post-it notes are why, or if it just hasn't gotten as confusing yet, but I am liking this. And I think I did talk about this already, because I did mention that this was for Casey Mafalda's book club, so there we go. Reading a book on the book club, getting it done early. Love that for me. And then I also started another book, which I don't think I've talked about yet. I placed a hold on The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker probably like a month ago, maybe a little less. And my hold came in yesterday, and so I started reading it because that's more of like it seems like it might be a little bit more hard-hitting, but it's a romance, so I figured it might be a good thing to read with this, so that if I don't want to read something that's a lot more heavy and a bit more like hard-hitting, I can go into the romance. Even though in the romance, the main character's dad has cancer, so like, I don't know how happy that's gonna be, but at least it'll be a little different. So yeah, like I said, that book is following this girl who has a very like strained relationship with her father and hasn't talked to him in like many, many years. But then she ends up finding out that he has cancer, so she ends up, I think, going to Alaska to kind of get to know him and get some of her questions answered from just like growing up, and like why he never came back and why he never came after her mom. And then I think there's gonna be a romance with like a guy who's in Alaska that works for her dad, I think. I'm not really sure. I haven't gotten that far. I'm literally like a few chapters in. I guess I could look and see how far I am. I'm 12% of the way through the book, so I'm not very far. I'm about to start chapter 4, and I think she's just kind of decided that she is going to go to Alaska, so I haven't even gotten to that part yet. And so far, I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I find the main character to be slightly irritating already, but it is the beginning of the book, and I could definitely see this being a book where she grows a lot from what she kind of believes and what she finds important at the beginning. Like, there's definitely plenty of space and time for her to grow as a character, so I'm not gonna hold it against her quite yet, but I do find her slightly annoying. And especially like in the very first chapter, she loses her job and she's on the bus, and this guy starts talking to her and is just trying to give her some like positive advice, or just like kind of just like some reassurance that like, yes, she may have lost her job, but like there's so much time left for her to figure out what she wants to do. And he was saying like, you know, he lost his job when he was younger, and then eventually he started this like cleaning company with his brothers, and he never thought that that's like where he would be, but he's clearly like very content with his life at the moment. And she's just like, how can you be, like, in her head, she didn't say this to him, but in her head she was like, how can someone be so happy like cleaning toilets and doing all this stuff? And I'm like, why are we job shaming? You know, why are we shaming the way people choose to make a living? That just wasn't it. Especially because, like, she literally just got fired from her job and is miserable, and he's still working at this job that he enjoys and is very content in life. And it's just like, why are we doing that? I don't know. But I have a feeling, or at least I'm hoping, that there's some character growth there. I could see there being some discussions kind of surrounding that and her growing as a character, because that was literally the first chapter. So, again, not going to hold it against her too much as of right now. But we will see if there's any character growth by the end of the book. We're going to hope that there is. But yeah, those are my current reads, my current thoughts on them. And I just wanted to give a bit of an update there. I'm going to see if I can maybe finish Of Women in Salt by the end of this vlog. But I don't know if that's possible. Even though it is very short, I don't want to rush it. So we'll see. But yeah, that's my reading update. Those are my updates. I'm going to, I think, do some watching of some YouTube because I've been reading for the past few hours, so I want to change it up and maybe watch some Gilmore Girls later because I'm back in my Gilmore Girls era. My short-lived Gilmore Girls era. It lasts like a week and then I stop watching it for a month. But it's back for now, so I'm going to take advantage of it. And yeah, might do that as well. Okay, that is all. Sweater is, I'm sweating because we turned our heat up because it's like 5 degrees outside, so, but now I'm sweating inside. Okay, but anyways, I just wanted to quickly wrap up this week's vlog, talk about what I read and all of that. So I did finish A Psalm of Storms and Silence earlier on in the week, as you guys saw, and I gave this 3.5 stars. As for Of Women in Salt, I have read a decent amount of this. I'm now on chapter 10, page 152, so definitely making some progress. I have like 50 pages left, but I am just like taking my time still and writing those notes to help myself not get confused. I will say there was one part that I'm still confused about it, so I don't know if that gets explained at some point, but I definitely have been using those post-it notes to quickly like reference like what time certain things were happening, so they have been very helpful because I think if I didn't have that, I would just be rereading certain chapters constantly. So yeah, this is still going good though. I still am really enjoying it. And as for The Simple Wild, I think I'm like halfway through that book now, and I think it's fine. I don't know. I feel like the romance is actually starting to like kind of start to happen now, so I'm excited to see where that goes once it's actually like there's some tension, there's some things happening with that. The very beginning, I just found the characters to be slightly irritating, so I don't know. We're gonna see how it goes. So far, I'm very neutral on it. I think it's fine. I'm not loving it, to be honest, but we'll see by the end and once the romance really like comes in, because I'm 50% of the way through and the romance still hasn't happened, so I don't know. We're gonna see how I feel about this eventually, but so far it's very okay, very average for me. But yeah, those are kind of my reading updates for this past week. And I also, before ending this vlog, I quickly just wanted to thank you guys for 2K. It's still processing. I just really wanted to thank you guys for supporting me, subscribing, watching, commenting, liking, doing anything. It really does mean a lot to me. It's weird because I feel like it doesn't make sense that I have 2,000 people subscribed and watching me. Like, I know it's not as big numbers as other people, but like 2,000 people is still a lot when you think about it, especially for someone that gets anxious like in person, talking in front of like more than like 5 people. But it is really nice to know that there are people who are supportive and watching me, and I don't know, I put so much time and effort into my YouTube channel, and I really love doing this, and I love having this community here and talking with you guys, and I don't know, like you guys put up with me screaming about books and Taylor Swift and showing clips of my cat every 5 seconds. Like I'm so glad that there's a community of people who are here and love the same things as me and are just supportive of me. It really does mean a lot. And I feel like I need to wrap this up because then I'll get emotional if I don't. So thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot. I'm still processing that that's what's happening here. It's crazy to me and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. But I think that that's gonna be it for this vlog. I'm gonna wrap this up here. But yeah, that is it for my first reading vlog of 2022. Also for the Treat Yourself Readathon. I do have a bingo board with the prompts that I was able to complete kind of washed out or blanked out. And I managed to get 2 bingos with just reading A Psalm of Storms and Silence. I did do a lot of the other just like random kind of more life, non-bookish prompts, which made me get those bingos, but I'm pretty impressed. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get a bingo with just reading 1 book, so very happy I managed to do that. But yeah, I think that that is going to be it for this reading vlog. So once again, thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys go and check out the link at the top of my description to treat yourself to some Ana Luisa jewelry. You see what I did there? But yeah, love Ana Luisa. Definitely recommend checking them out. And you can treat yourself this Valentine's Day season because Valentine's Day is coming up in like a month. So you can treat yourself this Valentine's and give yourself something. I am all about that self-care, self-love moment. So definitely check them out. But that is going to be it for this vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye.